Oh, wow. Selamat pagi. I see all of the Indonesian people who are watching this and are saying, we love when you speak Bahasa. I'm going to learn Indonesian. That's happening very soon. Selamat pagi, though. Good morning. Apa kabar? How are you? And baik, which means like, I'm good. And then I always say like, oh, bagus. That's good that you're, or it's great that you're good. And today we're you guys are with me. I'm kind of here. Me and Dana, we're kind of like escaping here actually in Uluwatu for a while. And basically here it just feels great. The energy, the people here in Bali. This is the southern tip. This is the mornings here in Bali. But being here just brought up a lot of feelings for me, and I feel really like kind of happy and just grateful, I think. And I, on that note, I want to just like, let me share with you guys, which is, if you guys have ever gone back to my first video, please watch my first video and you'll be shocked. And I wasn't this confident, I wasn't this way, but I had a certain intent, and that was, my intent was to show you guys how to be more happy and share with you things as I go along my trip. So today's video, we're going to the drawing board. And by the way, you guys who left comments about the drawing board, thank you so much. I didn't know how it was gonna go. It's something totally new, but it's really fun for me. So I'm gonna do a couple more of these because I'm here for like 3 days. Then I'm probably going away for a while. So I'm gonna just do a bunch of drawing board things because I won't be able to just film like this, I don't think. I'm attending like an event and it's a 6-day thing. So today we're gonna break down happiness. I'm gonna show you guys a way, and if you really pay attention, I think that you'll feel so much better by following this. So from here, in our place, Uluwatu, we're going to the drawing board where I'm going to explain to you guys happiness, how to get it. It's my little formula, but it really works well for me. And more importantly, you guys said the last time, hey Luke, the mic, you were tapping the pen. It's because the last time I forgot to plug my mic in. So this time, hope it's much better. Hope you enjoy. And all of you guys who are new around here, you're always welcome around here. And yeah, here we go. We're going to the drawing board to talk about happiness. Okay, what is going on, guys? So today we are talking about, well, let's just talk about a happiness formula to help you guys be happy. Now, I know the last time I recorded this, I didn't have my mic plugged in, so hopefully you don't see so much tapping on the screen. So my happiness formula, my goal throughout this whole thing is this helps you guys to do one thing, to become more happy. Okay? So, happy. Amazing. Everyone wants to be happy. This is like what the magic word is. Happy, happy, happy. But my question for you, and this is something that I ask a lot of people, and I'm going to tell you what most people answer. I usually say, well, what is happiness? Like, how do you define happiness? Because everyone has a different definition. So to be happy, I say, okay, so it's up to you. This is not a face. This is like, you need to write something right here. I would tell people like, well, what makes you happy? What is your happiness? How do you define it? How do you define happiness? And this is the most common answer that I hear all the time. Oh, I don't know. And how that really baffles me is because like you want to be this, but you don't know what this is. So you want to be happy. You want to be this. This is what you want to be, but you don't know what that is. And some people, they actually know what it is. Maybe you watching this, you know what makes you happy. So you can fill in the blank, like with friends. Okay? Or no, excuse me. Actually, no. That's not the definition of happiness. Look, even me, I'm making a mistake. So happy, you don't know what makes you happy. And maybe you do know what happiness is. Maybe it's just like a feeling. This is what people say. Okay, if you're good, this is what people say. And by the way, I'm Bali, so if you hear the geckos in the back, it's okay. So the next thing what you need to do is like, okay, once you've defined what happiness is, so let's just say it's a good feeling. Okay? But like I say, most people, this is their answer. I don't know how to define happiness. I just know. That's what they say. So if you have happiness is a good feeling, that's good. All right? So you can take two approaches here. So the next thing where I think people need to go, where we should go, is like, okay, what does that look like? What does it look like? This is the question. Like when you're happy, what does that look like? Like define it. Like I know you're watching this and like, well, I'm going to take Luke's definition. It's a good feeling. What does that look like? I'm going to take Luke's. No, but you have to define it for yourself. You define it. And we do that for one reason. Because we want something. We want happiness. But if we can't define it, then how do we find it? And this is not just true for happiness. This is true for freedom, love, acceptance. You take it down the exact same formula. You define it, whatever you define that as, and then you have what it looks like, so you could have like a picture of it in your mind. Describe what happens when you feel good. What does that look like to you? Because like I say, when you can picture that, now we can reverse engineer it. Now we know if I do this, and then I feel this, then I'll be this. Seems very complicated. But trust me, it's not, and I'm going to explain. So one of the questions, as you guys know, oops, I know that must be really crazy on YouTube. So one of the things that people, I'm going to tell you guys a concept right now. I usually only share this with my clients, but I'll share this with you guys on here because I like you. We make a lot of statements. This is what people do a lot, okay? We do it to ourselves. We do it to other people. Other people do it to us. Other people do it to themselves. They talk. So talking, I'd like to say, when you say something to yourself, like, I just want to be happy. I just want to do this. This is explanation point talking. But to find true answers inside, you need to do this kind of talking. Question mark talking. So trying to find happiness isn't like, this is not, and I'll give you some examples of this. Okay? Want to be happy. This is something people shout out. I don't like this. Meaning that they want to be happy, so they don't like the situation they're in. I don't like this. Okay. What else? What's something else that people say? This isn't fun. These are all things people say. But this leads to change. The questions. So I could tell you this, like, you want to be happy? If I was trying to help you out, I could say, do this. Or do that. Okay? But no, the power is in questions. It's one thing I love about coaching people is I get to ask you questions that make you reflect. So instead of saying all these statements here, why don't we go here? Let's ask yourself some questions. How about this one? Why aren't you happy? And that leads to an answer. And that leads you to reflect on something. How about another question? Very powerful question. And feel free to use these guys and journal about it. What's making you unhappy? Answer that. Because you'd be surprised that we know. We know exactly what's making us unhappy. And what happens is, and I'm going to show you something very simple. This will really help you out. When we're feeling this way, so to feel this way, it's very important that you define what makes you happy. You need to define what makes you happy. So, as we go here, unhappy. Most people are unhappy. Okay? So you know you're unhappy. So what do you want to do when you want to be unhappy? You try to add more things to it. Okay? So you're unhappy. Let me go party. That's what I used to do when I was unhappy. Let's do that. And what happens when that party slowly starts to go away? When you finish partying, what goes on there? You're right back to where you started. But no, I'm going to keep partying. Okay, we're going to keep doing that every single week. Every single day. Okay, that's what I did. What else? What else makes you, when you're unhappy? Talk to friends. This is a good one. Yeah, that works. Be with loved ones. Oh, I don't know what I was trying to spell. That's a S, guys. Loved ones. What's something else you do when you're happy? I want you to think about this as you're watching this. What's something that you do that when you're unhappy? Ah, you're right. That's a big one. Eat. Okay. Anything else you guys can think of? Let's think of two more. Something you do when you're unhappy. Think about that. You're unhappy, not feeling good. Ah, I'm going to give you the popular one. This was my favorite one to do. Travel. Oh, travel. Let's do one more. When you're unhappy, what's something you like to do? Maybe some kind of external substance. That's a pretty popular one. So as you guys are looking at this, it's funny when it's drawn out. It's not funny, but when it's drawn out, it looks so different. Because you're unhappy. You're unhappy right now. And you're doing all these things. So you understand that when you're doing this, you're not actually... Whoa, hold on. You're not actually happy. This is the big thing. Oh, my mic fell off. Okay, hope you can hear me. Okay. So this is how we get into this like this like rut. Because these are all the things you're doing. Hold on, we're gonna go through these. Doing this, eating, traveling, partying, talking to friends, being with loved ones. Because we think that that's gonna make us happy. But we're not, because we're unhappy. This is how you're feeling right now. So it's just like I said before, when all this stuff starts to kind of fade away, all this stuff, just gone. No with friends, no traveling, no eating, none of this. Do you know what's done this to us? And I'll keep this in here for the notes. But when that goes away, you know what's done that to us this year? Does it sound familiar to anyone? We're unhappy and we do all these things right here to kind of make us feel better. What has happened? Anything you can think of recently? I have one thing in particular that comes to my mind that happened. I can write it right here. The year 2020. Because what 2020 did is that's what it did. 2020 took away this. Well, the eating part was there. I'm sure we all have a little bit of extra weight. I know I do. From there. Working on it though. So when you take all this stuff away, you take away all of this. All of this is taken away. What do you have? What do you have? So we realize it's really important to find out, maybe more importantly, what makes us happy, because we think that all these things here are going to cure this inside here. So maybe one thing we need to do is figure out, go back to the questions, why aren't you happy? Do you understand why, oh gosh, what am I doing? So can you understand why this question mark is more powerful than this? I want to be happy. Cool. I'm going to pick one of these things. Talk to friends, be with loved ones, do one of these. I don't like this. This isn't fun. I'm going to do something else. Maybe travel again. Do another substance. But if we can get to this here, we can get to answering these questions. Now we start to clear out what is inside here. And when you can find out what makes you unhappy, like all the things in your life, we all have a list of things that make us unhappy. And I encourage you to make that list. What's making you unhappy right now? What's doing? And you just blah 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 blah. And what I can do, because now you're inside this box. So this unhappy, this is your box. This is you. These are equal. This and this is equal. Because when we can figure out what's making me unhappy, and I can give you some examples. real quick. Maybe some people you're hanging around. Maybe a job. Maybe where you're at right now in your life. The progress you've made in life. Where you thought you'd be. These are all examples. So then we realize, well, but what do I do to get rid of like all of these things in the box? Well, if people around are making you unhappy, jobs making you happy, life's making you unhappy, progress making you unhappy, what is something you could do? Now we're getting to a good question. And this is the question that I love to ask people. What action could you take today? There we go, you. And more importantly, not what action you could take only, but what massive action could you take today? What's one massive action you could take for this list right here? If this is what's going on, what's a massive action you could take with the people that you're around? What's a massive action you could take with the job you're in? I know there's not a lot of options, but what's a massive action you could take to help that? Your life, what's a massive action you could take? Progress, what's a massive action you could take? And ask yourself that. Because if you don't ever fix what is in here, none of this other stuff here will matter. None of this other stuff, because it goes away. All this will go away. Everything in this box will go away. Or you need to change it. But you still have this. That doesn't go away. That is this box. Make a list of what's making you unhappy. Because I bet you, what do you feel? If you change the people you hung around. You change the people. You change the job that you went to. Start looking at new options or did something on the side. You change your lifestyle. And you start to see progress in your life. Don't you see how that unhappiness bar could that would change? And none of this stuff would be needed? You just did it because you wanted to? So that's it. So maybe about when it comes to being happy, maybe it's not about so much doing when like this. When it comes to being unhappy, maybe it isn't about doing more things that make you happy. Maybe when you're unhappy, it's about doing less things that make you unhappy. And it seems so easy, right? Because we're unhappy when we add things that make us happy, but we are this. This is who we are. So how do we change this? You got to change inside that box. So what do? You take what's in that box and you do less of it. And just by doing that, you will naturally become more happy. That's what I say. Make the list, ask yourself the questions, and you'll see the change. And this is just, like I say, this is just my opinion. This is not the happiness formula. This is just a happiness formula that I hope will help you guys out. I hope this video helped you out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I'll speak to you guys later. And in the meantime, everyone always remember to work hard, be brave, and don't forget to smile. Oh, I forgot to draw the smiley face. Don't forget to smile. And I'm going to do a hand waving bye. Ciao. See you next time. Well, I don't know. I don't know why the hands. Let's just say I have a crooked hand. There we go. All good. See you guys next time.